Okie dokie. Let's start seated, cross-legged. Do that thing, you know, it's Lent today, isn't it? I'm not sure I've decided what's going to happen for Lent. Last year I gave up chocolate, which for me is a huge thing. I'm just not sure whether this is the right year for giving things up. I haven't decided. I think you should almost use Lent and take something up. You should, there was a guy on the radio this morning who was talking about it. I think you should think about it as just a period of self-reflection to add something to your life which you really need. That'd be good, right? Anyway, if you want to sit cross-legged, great. If you want to change the cross of your leg, because you know you're trying to break the habit of putting the same leg forwards all the time, do that. Place your hands on your knees, thighs, close your eyes. Just take a few breaths to arrive on your mat. I do this every time I sit down and start a practice. I imagine that I've actually stepped in my mind's eye into a different room. And I physically imagine closing the door on the room I was just in and then sitting down on my mat in this new room, which is of course a really Zen room. It's a beautiful place. It's like I'm telling myself that I've just got to shut down whatever stream of consciousness was going on before I started. And I say this very seriously, your space on your mat is a sacred space. It's not a religious space, it's sacred because it is for you, it's all about you. And it's about giving yourself back just a brief moment of compassion and just time, really. Take a really big breath in. Feel for your center point. So maybe slightly draw your torso forwards and then back, and just find the point where you are beautifully stacked, back of the skull lined up with the pelvis, the sit bones. And then take a really big breath in. And a full exhale out. Our intent this morning is to think about this concept. There's a book actually, and it's called The Body Keeps the Score. And I can't tell you how fascinated I am all the time about how our bodies notice and register everything way before our brains have caught up with it. They're like an early warning system to let us know how we're really feeling. And the emphasis is on really feeling. Because we get mixed up in our heads with a lot of pretend, a lot of showcasing, which is partly protective. If you really listen and observe what's going on with you physically, you know how you're feeling. Normally anxiety, stress, symptoms of, feeling out of sorts will appear in the body way before you've registered them in your head. But are we listening? This is the point. So we're just going to reflect on that as we practice this morning. I'm going to start with Nadi Shodena. Keep your eyes shut. Pick up your left hand and float it in front of your face. Take the first two fingers and press them down onto the palms. So your thumb and your ring finger are available. Take your thumb and close off your left nostril. Take a long inhale through the right nostril, slow and steady. You Get to the top of this inhale, hold the breath, bring the ring finger down, closing off both nostrils, and pause and listen to this quiet and the stillness. Release the thumb, exhale fully through left nostril. Pressing your belly inwards, push the air out. Inhale back up through this same left nostril, slow and long the breath is. Top of the inhale, you hold the breath, the shoulders soften, thumb comes down, both nostrils closed off. Try to feel the sense of stillness. Release the ring finger, exhale fully through right nostril. Float the left hand away from your face and keep your eyes shut. Just take a breath here, both nostrils, allowing you to fill yourself up. And give yourself a sigh out maybe. Without opening your eyes, change the cross of your legs. Sit up nice and tall on your sit bones. Left hand on the thigh, bring your right hand to hover in front of your face. First two fingers fold to palm. Press your thumb onto right nostril. Take a long breath in through the left nostril. Don't rush it, slow it down. The top of the inhale, when you're full to the brim, hold the breath, ring finger closes off nostril. Soften your neck and your jaw. Release the thumb, exhale fully through right nostril. Press the air out. Inhale back up through right nostril, slow and controlled. Feel the reach up into the top of the chest. Hold the breath, thumb comes down. Soften everywhere in your held breath. Release ring finger, exhale out fully through left nostril. Keep your eyes shut, float your hand away from the face. Take a long inhale through the nose. Feel like you lift space into the front of the chest, side ribs, back of the head. And then definitely open your mouth and side out. Slowly open your eyes and come back to the room. Brilliant. Okay. Let's start in Janusharasana. Extend your right leg out to the side of you and tuck your left heel in towards the groin. We're actually going to do a round of shoulder shrugs in Janusharasana. So first thing I want you to look at is your extended right foot. It's flexed. I want you to feel, and this is kind of something to imagine, that there's a wall here and you're actually pushing the pad of your big right toe into the wall. So that is how active your foot is. And I want it to light up the inner line of the leg. This left foot is also active and it's pressing downwards, at which point you have more length through side ribs. Have your arms casually by side of body. Take a really big breath in. Hold the breath, shrug shoulders straight up to ears. As you exhale, squeeze the tops of your shoulder blades together. Feel the press of your legs into mat. Slide the shoulders down. Roll it out. Take a big breath. Feel the side ribs expand. No shrug. As you exhale, squeeze the midpoints of shoulder blades together. Imagine you're trying to hold a ballpoint pen between your shoulders and then slide down. You're still holding it. Neck stays relaxed. Palms up, elbows bent. Take a big breath in. Exhale, draw low tips of shoulder blades together. Move the elbows back. Feel them kind of press together and then a little motion downwards. And release, roll it out. Take your right hand to inner edge of right leg. Half bind. So place this left hand behind you. Grab hold of the waistband of your leggings or shorts, Or maybe you slide your hand into the nook of your hip. Let your head soften for a neck release. So the head is lolling almost towards that right shoulder. You're doing your best efforts to find a longer breath. I want you to inhale and lift, visualize this, your belly button up away from the pubic bone. And then almost feel like you lean back into the pose. Can you still be aware of your right big toe pressing into a flat surface in front of you? Release the hand, chest opener. Bring your left arm straight up to ceiling, spread the palm. Put a bend, a little micro bend in elbow, and then move the arm behind the line of the body. With a sort of bracing action, maybe with the right hand on inner calf, you can kind of puff yourself open. It's kind of quite cool. Feet, sit bones, legs still actively pressing downwards. How soft can you make your neck and jaw? Are you in your body or out of your body? How much are you in your head right now, or are you actually feeling the nuances of this pose? Catch yourself going offline and get back in. And you do this by taking a breath and noticing it, staying with the breath. Take your top arm and float it across yourself for a side bend. Reach through the fingertips. Feel, it's a weird thing. It's like you're side bending, but you also lift up out of the waist and you sort of deposit yourself with length towards that extended leg. There's a wrapping of this top shoulder. You'll feel it as you wrap the shoulder forwards. There's more space around the underside of shoulder blade. And then very slowly float this left hand down to frame your extended leg. Pick up your right hand, place it on the other side. Look at your extended leg, take a long breath in, open your chest, and then forward fold across this leg. At this point, let the back of the head soften so you are aware that your back is reaching for length, but your neck is not getting tight. Take a long inhale and feel it in the left side ribs, right deep from the hip to armpit. Open the mouth side out. Press that right big toe into your wall. Come out of this slowly, inhale. Let's do everything on the other side. Extend the left leg out, tuck your right heel to groin. Sit up firmly on your sit bones. Press with that big toe there into your flat surface. Oh, do shoulder shrugs. Mustn't forget that. Take a really big breath in. Hold the breath. Shrug shoulders straight up to ears. This is like definitely deliberate. Squeeze behind you. As you exhale, slide downwards. Feel for a press of shoulder blades towards each other. Neck stays soft. Roll it out. Take a breath. Middle points of shoulder blades squeeze together really firmly. Don't kind of miss out on it. Squeeze downwards. Feel the sensation rather than going through the motions of the pose. And it's hard. You've got to concentrate. Palms up, elbows bent. Inhale. Exhale. Imagine you're standing behind yourself and you could see your shoulder blades. Low tips pressed together. They're still pressing. They're going to move downwards. Squeeze elbows towards each other. Release, roll it out. Half bind, left hand to inner edge of shin. Bring your right hand behind you. Grab leggings or slide a little bit further around. Breathe, take an inhale, lengthen your front of body. So you pick your chest up. Maybe you side bend a little more now, but let this shoulder, feel it. You're helping yourself with this bind to release into that right shoulder. Front of the pec, let it go. Imagine I was standing behind you and I grabbed hold very gently of the wingtip of your right shoulder blade, and I'm going to pull it, tease it towards the midline of your back. So I want you to feel like the shoulder can just move downwards. Chest opener, release the right hand, fingertips spread, take the arm up. Slight bend in elbow, draw it behind the line of the body, opening into the front of chest, breathe. A long breath in and soften the jaw and the neck. Side bend, wrap top arm, reach arm across. So pick up some length in both sides of the ribs and then reach your torso towards the left side. A little wrap of shoulder, softening underside of armpit. Let the head go completely. If you need support, press through your underside of legs. Push again through the left big toes, side of foot. And then very slowly inhale. Float your right hand to frame that leg. Put the left hand on the other side. Take a long breath in, lift up. As you exhale, forward fold over your extended leg. You don't have to come down very far, but I want you to be aware of your breath. Take an inhale, lengthen the back body. You lift the belly button up, and then as you exhale, it's like you're pressing your belly button towards your knee. It's that far ahead. Back of the head softens. Take one more big breath here. Push through the big toe side of your left foot. Inhale, come all the way back up. Take your legs out in front of you, give them a shake. Let's lie down and do abdominals. For this round of abs, you will need either a cork block or a proper roll, something to stick between your inner thighs. Let's do abs with a prop, 3 stages. Start with your feet on the floor, very actively pressing downwards, knees bent. Interlace your hands, place your hands behind the base of the skull. Wrap your elbows up towards the ceiling. Just take a moment here to feel for loosening off the upper back area as you do this. So the shoulder blades are pretty free floating. Can you wrap them so they draw towards the armpit rather than up towards the shoulder? Take a really big inhale, partially lift head and shoulders off the floor. Hold the breath. Squeeze the prop between your inner thighs and press your low back to mat. As you exhale, lift your tips of elbows higher up, pull down through the low belly area. Inhale, head and shoulders soften. Hold the breath. Flatten your low back to the mat. Squeeze the prop firmly between inner thigh muscles. Exhale, lift elbows straight up. Gaze is at the ceiling, pull belly down. Feel your abs do all the work, not the neck. Inhale, soften off. Hold breath, squeeze prop. Really feel the muscles squeezing onto the block. As you exhale, push back down, reach up through underside of armpits, belly goes down. Inhale, release off. Second stage, pick your feet up off the floor. They hover just below knee line and your knees are most definitely stacked over hips. And they're going to stay here. They're not going to start drifting towards your chest. That angle is really important. Take a really big breath in, lift head and shoulders. Hold the breath, squeeze prop, internally rotating thighs. Curl your tailbone, flattening low back. Exhale, lift up the center line. Wrap tips of elbows higher, pull belly down. Inhale, head and shoulders soften, knees stay stacked. Hold breath, squeeze prop, curl tailbone. Exhale, lift up through the center line. Make sure your chin is away from the chest. Pull down through the low belly. Neck is relaxed. Inhale, release off. Hold the breath, squeeze the prop, curl tailbone. Exhale, lift up the center line. Feel for pulling downwards through the area just above pubic bone. Inhale, release off.
Third stage, take those feet straight up to ceiling. If your hamstrings are tight, a little softness in the knees is completely fine. Look at your feet a moment, spread the toes, get super active. You've got 5-inch heels on. Take an inhale, lift head and shoulders. Hold the breath, squeeze prop, internally rotate the thighs. See the legs do that. Curl tailbone, exhale, lift up the center line. Wrap shoulders, pull belly down. Inhale, head and shoulders soften. Big breath in, don't lose it. Hold breath, squeeze prop, knees roll in towards each other. Curl tailbone, exhale, lift up the center line. Press down through the low belly. It should be beginning to get very hot now. Inhale, release. Hold breath. Squeeze the prop. Curl the tailbone, lifting feet directly up to ceiling. Exhale, elbows reach, shoulders wrap, belly down. Flubber out those lips. Come out of this slowly. Feet come down, head and shoulders down. Take the prop to one side. Just take a breather. Soles of the feet together, Badakanasana, open up the knees. Take your hands and place them on your low belly. Close your eyes. Feel the heat and energy that is in the low belly and feel it kind of sort of emanate outwards. Kind of spreading it around, sharing it out. Stay connected with all the sensations in the body, not just the ones that shout the loudest. Take hands to outside edge of the thighs, draw your knees together. Let's go into bridge pose. Tuck the feet up to the butt, stroke the backs of your heels. Arms reset to side of body. Take a long inhale, curl tailbone, and then as you exhale, lift your hips up off the floor. So bridge, plain vanilla bridge. First couple of breaths always feel okay. You're kind of settling in, getting used to it. Then you think, God, how long are we going to be staying here for? It's getting quite, tense. Turn on your legs more. Press right now through the feet, all four corners, but a particular press through the big toe pad on each side. Drive your thigh bones forwards and out of the hips and turn on your glutes and your hamstring muscles. Maybe lifting the hips just a little bit higher. But ultimately, it comes down to your breath. Take an inhale and track the breath. Reaching space from pubic bone to underside of collarbones. So all you're thinking about is slowing the breath down and tracking it. Inhale and exhale. Take another long breath in. Press again through active feet. Soften the jaw and the shoulder line. It's hard. Open the mouth, side out. We're going to come down very slowly in stages. Listen up. Take an inhale, tuck your tailbone. As you exhale, just slowly lower the top area of the back above the shoulder blades. Pause. Take another breath in. Curl tailbone. As you exhale, lower the mid-back area, which probably takes you to below the shoulder blades. Pause, take an inhale, push through active feet, tuck tailbone. As you exhale, lower everything else now from mid to low back, right to the tailbone. And when you get there, take a full breath in and a full breath out. Feel the flatness of your low back. Notice the texture of the mat beneath your feet, even though you are quite relaxed through the feet. Slowly roll onto one side and press yourself up to seated. Okay, come up onto all fours. Let's do Dolphin Prelude. It's really nice, Dolphin Prelude. So
Bring your forearms down to the mat as if you're doing dolphin, but then walk your elbows a little further forwards, the whole forearm. So it feels like you've overshot your shoulder stacking, which you have. Walk your knees a little further back and take them quite wide on the mat so they're beyond the hip line. And then stage one, you just hinge your butt back. And as you do this, it kind of hangs midair, like it wants to get to your heels, but it can't get there. As you do this, there's a pull through the underside of your arms, and I want you to place your forehead on the mat. Take your hands and put them together in prayer, and then bend your elbows and float your prayer hands to rest on the back of your neck. And breathe. If you're not feeling a stretch through the underside of ribs, walk your elbow tips just a couple of centimeters further forward and pull your butt back. There's a sensation like the skin that goes over the top of the elbows is getting pulled towards the top of the mat. But mostly I want you to focus your breath on softening the space between your shoulder blades. There is a small weight attached to your sternum, and every time you exhale, it pulls your breastbone towards the mat. Feel that. Make sure your butt is hanging behind your hips, if that makes sense. Behind the line of the knees. Otherwise, you won't feel like you're being pulled backwards. And then very slowly unbend your elbows and press yourself back up. Turbo puppy, followed by turbo dog. Take your hands forward on the mat. Wrap your elbows towards each other and bend them and hover them just above the floor. Head hangs between the arms. Take an inhale, push your breath into upper back, wrapping around the shoulders. Just stay here with your knees on the mat. Squeeze your elbows towards each other. Shake out the head, yes, no. So I want you to feel that although nothing looks like it's happening in this pose, there is a fire of energy circling around the inner line of your arms around your front of chest. Take another breath. Feel the lift up through the shoulders. Curl the toes, straighten the legs. Elbows stay bent, hovering above the floor, turbo dog. Lift your sit bones, feel for pressing through active feet. Inner thigh muscles get busy. But mostly your elbows are drawing towards each other. Front of chest livens up. Can you feel your fingertips grab the mat? Let the jaw and the neck soften, you don't need them. 2 more breaths. Just as it's getting really struggly, take the breath. And then straighten your arms. Oh yes, down dog, feels dreamy. Pedal out the feet, give your backs of legs a little opportunity to lengthen. And then very slowly walk your hands, feet towards your hands. Forward fold, Uttanasana, bend the knees. Take hands up above you, interlace. Reach your clasped hands directly to ceiling. Feel like the head of the shoulder gets lifted away from the floor as you reach the hands. Shake out the head, yes, no. Have a little glance at your feet. How pressed, connected are you to them? Knees can be soft, belly is long. And then release the arms, soften the knees again, and come up to standing with a relaxed neck. Brilliant, okay. We are going to work with unlocking the shoulders in horse stance. Because we're going to be doing a few sort of arm balancey things later, or, working with the upper body. So I just want to make sure that we're really connected and lubricated up. So horse, lots of leg stuff going on. Open the thighs wide, feet turned out. Squeeze the butt underneath you and feel your glutes kind of activate.
Listen up. Pick up your left arm and have the elbow stacked opposite shoulder. Take your left thumb, and I want you to, your right thumb, and stick it deep into the well of your armpit. I mean, quite forcefully. And then wrap your fingers around the shoulder blade. So just take a breath. I want you to press with your right thumb into your armpit and feel the layer of muscle that's lying over your ribs. It's a little uncomfortable, but there it is. Let's take an inhale, draw the shoulder back. Slide the shoulder down, wrap the shoulder forwards from underside of armpit, and feel your serratus anterior turn on. You'll feel that muscle where your thumb is kind of power up. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, draw back, slide down, wrap forwards, press the forearm away. Feel armpit muscle, but also where your fingers rest on the shoulder blade, some sort of aliveness. Release, you're still here, just release the right hand. Grab a hold of your left bicep. If you've ever dislocated your shoulder, skip this stage, do the one with the thumb in armpit again. Inhale, draw shoulder back, down. As you wrap forwards, gently pull on your bicep with your right hand and feel like you lengthen the head of the forearm out of the shoulder. Neck stays soft. Release. We're all back together. Place your right hand onto the inner edge of your left elbow. Inhale, draw shoulder back, slide it down. Wrap forwards, push hand into elbow, elbow into hand, really strongly. Feel your pecs, front of chest liven up. Neck doesn't get busy. Release, roll the shoulder out. I hope that you have suddenly, it's like this whole area for me goes, It's like, oh, hello, there it is. Place your hands on the top of your thighs, lock out your arms, hang your butt down low. Let's give the legs a little rest. Let's do a twisting horse. Inhale, lift the chest. As you exhale, dip your chest towards the left, lock out and straighten the right arm, push the right thigh away from you. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, straighten the left arm, traction left thigh away, dip your chest to right. Let's do it again. Inhale, come back. Exhale, twist to the left, straighten the right arm. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist and dip to left, right even, straighten the left arm. I've been confusing you with left and rights, don't worry, I'm sure you've worked it out. Come back. Let's do the other side for unlocking the shoulders. Sit down, tuck tailbone, inner outer thighs active. Pick up your right arm, place it at a right angle. So from side on, looks like this, right? Take your left thumb, stick it into armpit, wrap around the sides of the shoulder blade. Inhale, draw shoulder back, slide the shoulder down, wrap it forwards from underside, feel something work. One more, inhale, draw shoulder back, down, wrap, press the forearm away, feel where your thumb is relying, pushing in, some connection. Release, hand, left hand grabs right bicep. Don't skip this if you have a dislocated shoulder. Inhale, draw shoulder back, down. As you exhale, pull your bicep forwards like it's kind of getting lengthened out of the armpit. Neck is relaxed. Release, roll back together. Place the left hand on inner edge of right elbow. Draw shoulder back, down, wrap. Push elbow into hand, hand into elbow. Really strong press here. Doesn't look like much, but it really fires up the front of the chest and the sort of area around the armpit. Release, roll it out. You'll be glad to know you can straighten your legs. Heel toe your feet back together. Let's do sun salutations. Come and stand at front of mat. Have extra padding for knees. If you've got good music to play, turn it on. Keep meaning to. I've got some playlists if people want music. I can always send you. Do have near the front of your mat for later a strap nearby and a block. Tadasana, mountain pose. You just stand and breathe. And if we think about this intent of the body being sort of like the early warning system, like noticing stuff before we've even kind of computed it. One way to get more attuned to what's really going on for us is when we're practicing on the mat to pay attention. Take an inhale, telescope ribs, reach the fingers. Exhale, forward fold, let the head hang. Lunge, step your left leg back, knee comes to mat. As you inhale, reach your arms up to ceiling and press through your left hip flexor. Plank, hands come down, step back. Take a breath in, push the floor away, tuck your tailbone, get your core engaged, knees lower, chest lowers really slowly. Do this so you feel like the upper back is working. Hands come forward of shoulder. This is a modified version of low cobra. As you inhale, pull your front ribs through the arms. Feel the squeeze of shoulder blades. Exhale, keep lengthening, reset, down dog. Left leg lunges forward, right knee to mat. Top of right foot presses through the floor as you lift your fingers to ceiling. Exhale, float to forward fold. Hands frame left foot, right foot forwards. Inhale, and it's a long inhale. Bring yourself up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Soften your shoulders. Right side, inhale, telescope ribs. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Lunge, right knee down and behind you. Inhale, press through the front left foot and lift space into the belly. Exhale, hands to mat, plank, step back. Take a breath in plank, scoot the belly, tuck tailbone. As you exhale, knees lower, chest lowers all the way down. Inhale, low cobra, hands slightly forward of shoulders. Squeeze your inner line of legs together, lift your chest. Exhale, drag yourself forwards like you're pulling hands towards you. Reset, down dog. Right leg lunges forward, left knee down. Inhale, it's a big breath, right? Telescope the ribs, lift space into waist. Exhale, float to forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's go again with a little variations. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Lunge, step the left leg back, knee to mat. As you take a breath in here, feel for extension upwards. We're pausing for 3 breaths. So if you're very upright in your lunge, brilliant. If you feel like there's more to go, sink into it. Do this with a care of tucking left glute underneath you and protecting the low back. If your shoulders are reaching so much that they're squashing around the sides of neck, you need to slide them down. Think about unlocking the shoulder motion. Wrap your shoulders forwards and then lift up through the front line. It's a really different move. Float your hands down to frame the right foot, step back into plank. Take an additional breath in plank. Let's do this really slowly. Push into your hands, scoop into armpits. Listen up. As you exhale, I want you to lower the knees towards the mat, but hover them 1 centimeter above the mat. When you get to that hover, hold and turn your core on more. You feel it? That's the amount of abs you need. Now let the knees touch the mat. Keep that core activity as you lower down with 1 long line through the back body. Hands come forward of shoulders. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, down dog. Left leg steps to front of mat, low lunge, back right knee down. Inhale, arms reach. Feel your breath telescope through the side ribs. If you're very upright, great. Maybe there's a tiny bit more opening. Do it with this incredible squeeze of right glute. As you press through the front of your right quad muscle. Wrap your shoulders. Feel it even now, this lubrication as you draw shoulder blades round. Then you lift up. It's a completely different kind of sensation. Hands float to frame left foot. Forward fold, right foot joins left. Inhale, press through your feet, come up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's go again. Inhale, telescope ribs. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Right leg lunges back, knee to mat. Take an inhale here, reach the arms up. And then float them to clasp hands behind you. Open your shoulder, chest area by reaching your clasped hands down. And then maybe you sink a little deeper into your lunge. All requires right glute tuck under. Feel it now, feel the glute come on and push the top of the right foot into mat. Soft lines, breath out, feels good right there. Release hands, step back into plank, take a breath in plank. Hold your plank, okay. So butt's not here, it's here. Tummy is engaged, tailbone tucked. Push through the arms and scoop up into armpits. Listen up. On your next exhale, lower your knees and hover them 1 centimeter above the floor. Pause again, take a breath, lift your belly, engage core a lot. As you exhale, knees touch the mat, chest comes down in one long line, graze your biceps to ribs. Inhale, low cobra, scoop it up. Exhale, down dog. Step right foot to front of mat, low lunge. Inhale, arms reach, spread your fingers. Float hands behind you, do the opposite interlace and lengthen arms away. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, sink maybe a little deeper into left hip, squeeze the left glute on, push top of left foot to mat. It's all happening. Doesn't mean you're not actually also pressing through the right foot. Feel that. Hands released, frame right foot, forward fold, exhale out. Inhale, come up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center, pause. So sometimes just slowing stuff down and paying attention to the details brings you into more connection with what you're feeling, what's really working in your body. Let's do vignettes, chair pose. Inhale, sink the butt low, bend the knees, weight in the heels. Just pause here a moment. So there's a real tendency to dump into low back here and stick the butt out. I want you to be in chair and tuck your tailbone under, engaging your core more, and then reach your arms directly upwards, but with a little wrap. Lovely. Feel the heat generating now in your legs. It's okay, take another breath. As you exhale, straighten the legs, forward fold, hand down. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands on shins, flat back, lengthen. Step or hop into plank, hands to mat. Take a breath in plank, lift the belly, push into armpits. Full or modified Chaturanga, you can lower those knees and hover them again, or you can hover your whole torso down. Inhale, low cobra, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot to front of mat for warrior two, fists of fire. So warrior two, the front foot is straight. There's a deep bend in the left knee. The back right foot is at 90 degrees. If you drew a line from your left heel, a plumb line, it would intersect right into the arch of the back right foot. Take your arms straight out to the side of the body and turn your palms upwards. As you do this, I want you to reach through the fingers, but don't shrug your shoulders up to ears. Pull your shoulder blades down and then reach again. So you feel like there's quite a lot of space around the neck. Take an inhale. Make a fist with your hands. As you exhale, pull elbows behind the body towards each other, squeezing low tips of shoulder blades. Inhale, float up, palms to ceiling. Exhale, make a fist, draw down. Squeeze back body together. Inhale, float up, deepen the left knee bend. Make a fist, exhale, draw down. Release, let the arms hang. Still in warrior two, eagle arms. Take the arms forward. Wrap your left arm on top of right. Double wrap if you can get it. So either that or backs of hands together. So the elbows are not down on the chest, kind of going, oh God, you need to do this. Lift your elbows up, a level with just below chin. At this point, it's an unlocking the shoulder kind of motion. Take an inhale, draw both shoulders back, take both shoulder blades down, and then wrap from the underside forward and push your forearms away from your face. So if you could see this from side on, it looks like this, right? Not this. Lift through the belly, shoulders down, press forearms away. Neck is relaxed. It can be quite nice to just dip the forehead to the bicep, but that's totally optional. You're obviously still in warrior two. One more big breath. Activate the outside edge of your right foot. Feel it press to mat. Don't roll in on the arch. And then release your eagle arms. Easy twisting lunge, cartwheel, float, right hand to inner edge of left foot. Come on to ball of back right foot and then sweep your left hand skywards. Let the head go. Press your right heel away from you as you lengthen the right thigh. Feel that actually turn on a bit. So you're aware of the right leg, pressing and supporting you. Take an inhale and lift space into your side ribs, both sides. As you exhale, rotate your chest to the left side of room. Feel like the left arm is being pulled behind you. No drishti, neck is relaxed. Left hand floats to mat. Step back into plank, take a breath. Scoop the belly up, tuck tailbone, exhale, knees hover, they're not going to touch the mat. Do it again. Really into this at the moment, it's super hard. Hold, scoop the belly up, tuck tailbone. As you exhale, lower the knees, lower the chest all the way down. Modified Chaturanga never felt so good. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, down dog. Step right foot to front of mat, warrior two, fists of fire. Deepen right knee bend. Look at your alignment. Is the right foot straight? Is the heel in line with the arch of the back left foot? Arms extend. Palms up. Soften the shoulders down, reach through the fingertips. Pay attention to the details. Take an inhale, lift your chest. Make a fist with the hands. As you exhale, really squeeze. It's like biceps get a bit involved. Draw elbow tips like you're crushing low wing tips of shoulder blades together. Inhale, float up. Exhale, make a fist, draw down. Feel the upper back muscles wake up. So it's not just about the arms, it's actually about the low area of shoulder blades. Exhale, make a fist, draw down. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Neck stay soft and release. Eagle arms, take the arms forward, deepen your right knee bend. Right arm on top of left. Backs of hands together or double wrap. Lift your elbows to just below chin height. Where's your breath? Take an inhale, draw shoulders back. Slide the shoulders down, wrap them forwards. Press the forearms away from the face. There is a huge opening across the upper back ribs. Can you balloon your breath into the space right between your shoulder blades? It's kind of an area of heavy burden on the upper back. It's like when I do this pose, it's like you've got a massive backpack on. It's huge, it's heavy. It's got way too many cans of baked beans in it because you weren't being clever at all. But as you breathe in your eagle arms, you're allowed to take out some of the load and just throw it away. Come out of this gently. Easy twisting lunge. Float the left hand to inside edge of right foot. I want a ball of back left foot. Inhale, float the right hand up. There's a elongation from right fingertips to left fingertips, all the way through the chest. Let the head go. Feel your left foot, press the heel towards the floor and engage the left thigh. Deepen your right knee bend, press through right foot and rotate your whole torso around the bend. Shake out the head, yes, no. Release the right hand, step back into down dog. Take a breath in down dog. And then slowly come down to knees. We're going to do dolphin palms up. You will need your block. The block will be on the mat at the front of the mat. If you don't have a block, you can still do it without. But the block is like a little marker, and your edges of little fingers are going to press against it. And your palms are going to be facing upwards and the forearm. So let's set up for this. The block's there. Be in tabletop. Pick up your left forearm and completely rotate it so the palm is up, and place your forearm on the mat. And do the same with the right arm. So it's not like you're just in dolphin and turn the hands around. That's not it. I want you to rotate that forearm bone. Ulnar radius. Have I got that right? Maybe. Little finger presses onto edge of block. Most importantly, look at your hands. The thumbs are spread wide and trying to touch the mat. Inhale, dome into upper back. Exhale, curl toes, straighten the legs, dolphin. Your head is nowhere near the floor. It's nowhere near the block. Because as you inhale, you scoop your phenomenal belly upwards, your core, and you feel the lift through your butt. Press very actively through the front of the top of the arms, forearms. Your hands might have clawed up. They get very distracted and disconnected. Spread your thumb away from the palm and open it. Shake out the head, yes, no. As you take 3 more breaths, consider what else you could do to help out. Maybe more press through the feet, inner thigh muscles. Wrap your shoulder blades around the sides of armpits. And release, come all the way down. Move the block to one side, step back into down dog. Step your left foot to front of mat for warrior 1. So the front foot is straight, back foot is at 45 degrees. I'd like you to put your hands on your hips. The thing about warrior 1 is the hips would really like to be forward facing here to the long end of mat. But you've got to pull the right hip to face the front edge, the short end of mat. At this point, you have to work out the angle of your back right foot and where you can kind of manage it. Take a breath, and also really advise being on a sort of wider railway track stance. Kasawari, this is called. We're going to come into archer first. You may need a strap, especially if you're tight in the shoulders. Take an inhale, reach the right arm straight up to ceiling. Place your right hand in the middle of your shoulder blades, and just take a breath here as you lift through the tip of your right elbow to ceiling. Make sure you're not pushing on the back of your head already. Left hand comes into a half bind behind you. Either grab the strap, which makes the distance up between the hands. Fingers might hook, or you grab onto your t-shirt top. That's okay as well. Deepen your left knee bend. Re-squeeze your right glute and feel for lifting space into right armpit with your inhale. So you lift up through the right tricep as you slide your left shoulder blade down. So Kasawari is a forward fold with archer arms intact. At this point, I suggest you separate your hands slightly. You'll need a bit more space. That's why the strap's really useful. Take an inhale, lengthen the belly. As you exhale, hinging from the hips, start to fold forwards towards the inner line of your left thigh. Get to a point, maybe you're halfway and you take another breath, inhale. And then just see where you get to. If you don't come very far down, it's completely fine. You might get to this really nice point where your left shoulder actually rests on your left thigh. Head can relax. Maybe you go beyond the thigh and you're hanging right down towards the floor. Hands or strap still connected, so the archer arm position is there. Take a breath, allow the right shoulder blade to soften. Nothing straightforward about this, more breath. Open the mouth, soft lines, breath out. You're hanging down, let the hands unravel themselves. Bring your right knee to mat, give it some padding if you need to. Let's do super easy twisting lunge. It feels good, this one. Place your right hand to inner edge of left foot and sweep your left arm up. So you've got these lovely right angled legs, Isle of Man legs, let the head go. Feel the twist and all its kind of benefits. Take an inhale, lengthen the side ribs, particularly the right side ribs. And as you exhale, lift your left arm behind you and feel for the fingertips spreading apart. A slow, soft breath into your torso. And then push again through your left foot, but also the top of right foot and shin. There's your support. Release the left hand. Step back into plank. Take a breath. Lift the belly up here. Scoop, tuck. As you exhale, lower your knees, but let them hover just above the floor, 1 centimeter away. Push into the hands, armpits, scoop the belly. Core is like so involved here, it's brilliant. Now lower the knees. As you exhale, come through modified Chaturanga, grazing your biceps to ribs. Hands come slightly forward of shoulders. Inhale, low cobra, lift and lengthen. Exhale, come all the way down. Lie on your tummy for boat pose with sit bone grab. Take your hands behind you and place fingertips right into the underside of your buttocks, the little crease area, and actually sort of closer to the inner thigh line. Look down at the mat with your gaze so your neck is neutral. Feel your inner line of legs extend. Take an inhale. Curl pubic bone to belly button, engage your core. As you exhale, lift feet, lift chest. Press your shoulder blades together and then push your fingers down into the crease of your buttocks and feel your glutes turn on. Take another breath. Inhale, balloon into upper back. Feet are reaching away, length through the legs. As you exhale, shoulder blades squeeze, chest lifts, fingers feel the glutes. Last one, inhale. Strongly tuck pubic bone, protect the low back. Exhale, squeeze shoulder blades together. Release, come down. Everything softens. Bring your hands to rest under your forehead. Place your forehead down on the mat. So you're lying on your tummy. Take a full breath into front body. And then slowly release. Hands under shoulders, curl toes, down dog. Step your right foot to front of mat, warrior one, archer. Back foot 45 degrees, come all the way up. Hands on hips, square yourself off. Get nicely connected to this right front thigh and press actively through left edge of foot. Take an inhale, reach the left arm directly up to ceiling, and then place the left hand in the center of the shoulder blades. Pause a moment, take a breath. Rather than feeling like you're leaning forwards, inhale, lift out of the front belly and lift your tip of left elbow straight up to ceiling. You might need a strap, remember, for the connection. That's okay, grab it in the left hand. Take your right hand in a half bind. Make the hands kind of move towards each other. They might connect. The strap will make up the distance, or you're holding onto your t-shirt. And breathe. So simple, right? Breathe. And yet weirdly, when you're in this bind, you feel like you're, I don't know, you feel so oppressed. Rather than listening to what your head's telling you at this point, which is a slightly panicked, cortisol-fueled reaction of, ooh, not sure about this. Find your breath and travel with that instead. Slow it down, feel the breath. If you're taking a long, deep, slow breath, you cannot be panicking. It's just not possible. Kasawari, inhale, lengthen the front body. With a hinge from the hips and your arch your arms intact, forward fold. Do it in stages. When you get to a certain point, take another breath. Maybe deepen the right knee bend, lower down. Maybe you get to this point where your right shoulder rests on top of the right thigh. So it's weird, you feel like you'll never get there and then suddenly you're there. Or not, doesn't matter. Let the head hang. Maybe you've got more to go now, you've kind of got used to the whole thing. Slide your torso to the inner edge of right thigh, like humble warrior, but with your archer arms. Let it all hang out. Notice here the hip alignment. Draw the right hip back, left hip forwards, even when you're hanging down. And then release slowly, super easy twisting lunge. Place your left knee to mat. You're in a beautiful right angled leg position. Take the left hand to inner edge of right foot. Inhale, sweep your right arm to ceiling. Feels too good to be true, this pose, but I want you to, you can be really lazy in these easy poses, but I don't want you to do that. I want you to feel everything. Make a connection to right foot, push through it. Press through the left shin and top of foot, and then lift space into left armpit as you reach up with the right hand. Let the head go. Here's your breath. Take an inhale. Feel like someone's pulling the crown of your head forwards and unfurling the front belly. And then as you exhale, wing that back hand behind you and feel this. I mean, it's kind of delicious opening across the front of chest. Twists can be really liberating if you let them be. Like you finally finding a bit of space in your body. Hand comes down to mat, step back into plank, take a breath. Push the floor away, connect to your core. As you exhale, bend the knees and lower them to hover just above the floor. They're not touching. Pause, take another breath, inhale, scoop the belly, pull it through the back body. As you exhale, knees make connection, slowly lower down, modified Chaturanga. Inhale, low cobra, lift and lengthen. Exhale, down dog. Take a breath in down dog and wrap your shoulders. So feel like the eyes of the elbows pull towards each other as you lift your butt higher. Shake out the head, yes, no. Come down. Flash prep. Let's work with this. Flash prep, maybe moving into flashing arrow prep. Lots of options. Okay, you might need a block. So for normal flash prep is a combination of one dolphin arm and one chaturanga arm, right? So if I demo this with the left arm forwards, it's flat to mat and the left elbow is stacked directly under my left shoulder. I'll take my right hand and place it in front of my right knee, flat to mat. And I want you to look and be aware of your right elbow. It's pulling in like a turbo dog action. And when you get up into this pose, there will be a bend which creates a right angle through the elbow. You take an inhale and you balloon into upper back, you curl the toes and you straighten the legs. So you can see Left arm directly in dolphin under left shoulder. Right arm chaturanga, right angle. Let's come up into it. I'll talk you through it. Okay, place your left forearm down on the mat. Make sure that you can see that your left elbow is under your left shoulder, and look at your left hand and spread it wide. Take the right hand, and it feels, the main mistake people make is the hand is too far forwards. Mine's way back, it's right in front of my right knee. When I lift my elbow up, it hits my hip bone. So I know that I've got this sort of alignment right. Wrap the elbow in, take an inhale, dome into upper back. Feel your wrapping of shoulders, curl toes, straighten legs. Walk the toes in a little bit. The first thing that happens is you tend to plunge loads of weight into left forearm because the right hand elbow is like, whoa, this is too much. Push weight through your right hand and pull your right elbow, and your tricep will start going getting a little hot. Like to go further, inhale, raise the left leg up slowly, don't rush it. When you get the left leg up, feel the big toe on the left foot and feel like it's being pulled to the ceiling. Inner line of leg active. Shake out the head, yes, no. Lift your low ribs away from the shoulders. Exhale, slowly come down. If you didn't raise the leg, bring the knees down anyway. Sit up in Vadrasana Thunderbolt. Place your hands, palms up, the top of your thighs, and look forward. So you're stacking your head directly over your pelvis. Just want you to breathe in and out slowly and absorb all the sensations. And there's probably quite a lot of relief because you're now sort of seated calmly. Make a particular effort to soften the shoulders as you breathe. Let's do the other side. Take your right forearm down to mat and place it, stacking elbow under shoulder. I'm just going to move my screen a little bit. It's a little hard to see me. Then the left hand is going to be back near the left knee. You can come with me for this one. You don't need to watch the demo. Maybe lift your left elbow up, see where it hits on your hip. Take an inhale. Feel like you press into both connections to the floor and dome out the upper back. Curl the toes, straighten the legs. So if your weight is heaving over to right side, press not only through the left hand, but the left foot, and pull the left elbow into the midline. Shake out the head, yes, no. Don't forget about your core. It's vital. Turn it on, lift some lightness into the pose. That's why everything feels so heavy when you go upside down. Lose connection to your core. Take an inhale, slowly, maybe raising the right leg straight up. Flash prep, leg lifted. Push again through the left hand, wrap elbow inwards, push the right forearm to mat. Suck your belly up and under. Feel the big toe of right foot reach to ceiling. And then slowly lower down. Child's pose. Thank God. Knees open, toes touch, sink the butt low, reach the arms forward. Let the forehead rest on the mat. As you take a breath in child's pose, notice the space between the shoulder blades, the back of heart center. What does it feel like? And then come out of this really slowly. Let's just do one more little stretch now before we come into Shavasana. We're going to do shin bound half lotus, or not half lotus because I don't do half lotus anymore. You'll need a strap or something to help you loop around, but if you don't have a strap, you can do it without as well, so don't worry about it. So extend your legs straight out in front of you and sit tall. This in and of itself can be a challenge for low back. It's tempting to kind of pull in here. You need to engage your core and lift up. Pick up your right foot and tuck it so that the bottom of your foot presses into the inner left thigh and the knees out to the side. If half lotus is within your practice, this is the point at which you pull the foot up towards the hip, right? And if you don't have any knee stuff going on and you're very kind of open, that might be a perfect solution. But pressing foot to inner thigh, perfect. Here's the strap part. Take the strap and just loop it around your right thigh knee like a little hammock and join the ends together. Conscious I'm wearing black, so it's hard to see stuff. You then take the straps, both ends in your right hand, and feed them behind your back. At this point, you're going to take your left hand behind you in a half bind and grab the straps. But I want you to pull your hand as close to the right hip as you can. So you might have to kind of ratchet it along so it feels really kind of bound in. So when you sit up, it's like your left forearm is lifting you sort of upright. Inhale, reach the right arm to ceiling. Twist your whole torso to the left. So turn away from that right knee. And then float your right hand down. The back of the right hand will brace on the outside edge of extended left leg. Take an inhale. This is a twist. Lift length through crown of head. And as you exhale, draw your left shoulder down behind you. If you can keep the twist and also begin to forward fold here by sliding your right hand down the outside edge of leg, you can do that. But this is not a forward fold, it's a twist with a forward fold. Let the head go. The main focus is to open your left chest pec area towards the left side of room as you pull on the strap and brace against the left leg. Take an inhale into the belly area. Lift your low ribs away from pubic bone. More length. As you exhale, more twist. And then come out of this really slowly. Release the strap. Take both legs out in front of you. Left foot sticks into inner right thigh. If half lotus is your thing, there it is. Tucked up into the hip. Strap loops around left thigh knee. Make a little hammock. Grab the two ends together. Feed them behind you. Take your right arm, half bind, grab the straps. Don't just casually grab the straps. Walk your right hand as close to your left hip as you can so you feel like you're really tightening the bind, and then lift up. This extended leg is active, foot flexed. Left arm reaches. Long in the side ribs, twist to the right. Float your left hand to outside edge of thigh. Brace yourself, open your chest. Don't use your neck, you're just pulling the right shoulder blade down behind you, gaze forwards. If you've got further to go and you can keep the twist intact, start to forward fold. Still rolling the chest towards the right side of the room. Head softens. Take a breath into the right top corner of your chest. Just let the sides of the neck soften and the jaw relax. And then inhale, come all the way back up. Release the strap. Shavasana. Let's do it. Lie down. Get really comfortable here. Put some extra layers of clothing on if you've got them handy. A blanket. Legs up the wall, always a good option. If you have an eye pillow or a bolster, I mean, all these really nice things you can get going. So So when you first come into your final resting pose, do a scan of your body so that everything you do right up to the last breath you take on the mat is really conscious. The placement of your limbs, the comfort that you are gifting yourself in this pose, all of it's really consciously done. And then close your eyes and just breathe more lightly, but still very calmly. There's a sort of natural rhythm to the breath now. Just want you to scan from sort of the crown of the head all through the torso, limbs to the bottom of the body. Just feel for areas that don't feel comfy. Sort those out. And just spend a few breaths listening. Just spend a few breaths really hearing what your body sensations are telling you. Every emotion that we have gets registered in the body somewhere. And that's okay, but every now and then we need to flush out areas where emotions have kind of got stuck or they are building up in really thick layers. So every time you come to the mat, you get to peel maybe one cling film thick layer off. That's okay. It's plenty. Come into Shavasana. Start to deepen your breath. Bring a little bit of connection, sensation into fingers and toes. Reach your arms up above you, point toes in the opposite direction, and now take a breath which feels extensive, like it opens you up. Draw your knees towards you, hug them in, a little roll side to side. And then extend an arm up above you and gently press yourself onto one side and just pause lying on your side, cradling your head in the underside of your arm. Keep your eyes shut and take another really long breath in. Feel this breath like a balm. Like it's kind of washing through you and it feels really soft and gentle. A caress. Here's something to always think about. These mountains that you are carrying, you were only ever supposed to climb. Very slowly press yourself up to seated. Take your hands into prayer at the center of your chest and actually feel where the thumb presses into the middle of your sternum. Take a long, slow inhale and feel it lift up into that space beneath your thumbs. And then softly exhale it out. That which is sacred in me honors and salutes that which is sacred in you. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. Lovely to see you all, as always, practicing.